Now, fears of first aid will be things that actually stop you from helping somebody or delay you or any worries you have. Now, the first one of these fears of first aid could be fear of infection. The patient you're dealing with may well have bloodborne pathogens or problems that could infect you. So this is quite a serious fear, but we address this fear by using face shields, using gloves, and also taking some basic precautions. We need to make sure that you do not come into contact with the body fluid of the patient. Another fear is fear of harming the patient or hurting the patient. Now, when you're dealing with something on the serious side of doing CPR, sometimes you find that people will not do CPR or delay it or not do it effectively because they're worried about hurting the patient. Now, if you're doing something like CPR, this person is effectively dead. Somebody maybe with less serious condition, maybe you're dealing with a serious bleed or a break, you can only do what you think is right and do your best for the person. And if you talk to them, you get help, you don't deal with the situation on your own, then this can all help you. Now, if you forget your training, again, don't worry so much. Sometimes when you look at this course now, you might think, I'm never going to remember all this. But when an accident happens for real, all this training will come back to you and you will deal with it. So fear of hurting the patient, although there are situations where you could harm somebody, we'll identify those on the course. Something like spinal injury, for example, if somebody's damaged their back and then you move them, you could do them harm. We'll cover these individually as the course goes on. Another fear can be fear of litigation, fear of if you help this person and something goes wrong, you may well get sued. Now, this we also address on the course because we're asking the permission of the patient. So we're actually asking them that, can I help you? So they're giving you their consent. So in most circumstances, this isn't a problem. It's not to say that someone won't be sued in this, but it may well be the company. But all you can do is do your best as a first aider, follow all the rules, follow all your workplace policies and procedures, and then you'll find that your treatment is quite straightforward and there should be no situations where you would actually get sued yourself. One big concern you may have when dealing with all first aid emergencies is getting hurt yourself. What you don't want to do is start off being the first aider and then get hurt and become a patient yourself. So it's vital that you ensure that every time you approach any emergency situation, you stop, think and act and just make sure that you're not going to put yourself in any danger. Always be aware the whole time you're dealing with any emergency scene to ensure that there's no new dangers arrived, but also think about the patient themselves. Maybe they could be a danger themselves. Now, with all these fears of first aid, they're quite straightforward, they're quite real fears. But as you go through the course, you'll find that these fears can all be addressed. With first aid, if your intentions are good and you help somebody, then you've got nothing to worry about. It's far better to actually do something and help that person than to leave them and don't do anything.